Previously on the Pedersen Show.
So I'm not going to bang on the NHL, but their power rankings stop at 16. I'm like, yoo-hoo. You got 32 teams, boys. Anyways, do you want to hear who the top 16 are? Did you see it, by the way?
I have not looked at it yet. No, I haven't.
Oh, you can tell me how wrong they are, okay?
Okay.
And I will preface this by saying a couple of weeks back I did my Power 5 in the National Hockey League, and we're pretty much bang on here. They were the same here. Number 1, Tampa Bay. Number 2, Colorado Avalanche. Number 3, Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights. Number 4, the New York Islanders. Sounds familiar, doesn't it, Moose?
Hell yeah.
These are all who I had. And number 5, they've got the Carolina Hurricanes, which I didn't have. I had the Florida Panthers, and as did you, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, Carolina's at 5. Florida Panthers at 6.
Okay.
Toronto Maple Leafs at 7.
How about that?
8th, the Boston Bruins. Right. 8th, the Boston Bruins. 9th, the Winnipeg Jets. Top 10, number 10, the Edmonton Oilers. Number 11, the Washington Capitals. Number 12, the Minnesota Wild. This is where it starts to get murky. Number 13, the Dallas Stars, who didn't make the playoffs last year. Number 14, the St. Louis Blues, who got swept in round 1 last year. Number 15, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the aging Pittsburgh Penguins. 15th ranked team in the National Hockey League. And 16th, the Philadelphia Flyers, who are a bubble playoff team. I'm sorry I can't go along with this, but this is the NHL Super 16.
Get ready for the Pedersen Show.
You probably saw Ryan Dinwiddie ripped his team afterwards. Said it was the worst offensive performance of the year. I think they said they only had 253 yards offense. What if he hurt somebody's feelings?
Did you win the football game? Did it work? They won the football game.
Did you hurt any feelings?
The players are going to have to deal with that. I mean, yeah. I don't think he's going to have to apologize.
It's the Sunshine State with the Pedersen Show.
Oh, boy. We are live. That's right. The guys just said the mics are hot and we're live. And just as we go to air, my mic stand falls over, Moose. How about that?
How about
You're going to see me holding this. You're going to see me holding this. Well, actually, you're not going to see it. Just trust me that I am for the next 15, 16 minutes. In the warm-up for Ecole Electric on this FlameTech Football Friday, and it's going to be a lot of fun. As you see, we're back at Dodge City in beautiful South Florida. I'm just going to get it out of the way. Brian Dodge, the mayor of Dodge City, has 4 boys, and they are Blake, Bradley, Brody, and Bennett. And Bradley asked me if I would say his name on the air and tell the world that he's my favorite of the Dodge boys. So I'm just repeating what Brad asked, okay? Here in this beautiful spot of South Florida where it's a little cloudy today, but still hot. And as Greg Zahn said, it's making me and everybody else here shiny, that shiny look of sweat of South Florida that we carry here as we're ready to talk ball for all for the next 2 hours. How you doing, Moose? What's shaking up there in the Great White North?
What did I tell you about wearing makeup on the air, right? That lasted like 2 days.
Yeah, it was not my thing. I'll settle for a tan or maybe even a sunburn. I'm just not going to wear makeup on the air.
Chilly
by the way, we have
and rainy back home, by the way. It was this morning.
Ew. Okay. CFL veteran and current Toronto Argonauts radio analyst Natey Adjei will be joining us in hour 1. Natey Adjei, Toronto guy, joining us to talk CFL and what other football matters come up. And then our NFL insider, Green Bay Packers, Cleveland Browns, and Toronto Argonauts alum Tori Gurley. So it's going to be a fun day of ball for all. And those two were teammates with the Argos, so there might be some stories come up there. But if you don't mind, can we please hit the Quick Six show horn? Thank you. Well, it's not all football in the warm-up, as everybody knows, or as we call it on our podcast, The Daily Blitz, which is very popular on Apple Podcasts and Google Play. We'll start with baseball. One American League Division Series. Randy Arozarena became the first Major League player to hit a home run and steal home in a postseason game, propelling the Tampa Bay Rays to a 5-0 victory over the Boston Red Sox in Game 1 of their American League Division Series. Nelson Cruz also homered, and rookie Shane McClanahan pitched 5 stellar innings for the AL East champion Rays. I just got to say this. They're saying, and I get why, that Randy Arozarena is a rookie, because technically he is, but he really started for the Rays in their first-round sweep last year of the Blue Jays in that little wild card set. So anyways, Arozarena still classified a rookie, but it's his second playoff. This is kind of a Ken Dryden, Patrick Waugh thing. Moving on to point 2, Houston's Lance McCullers was sharp over 6 2/3 innings, helping the Astros blank the Chicago White Sox 5-0 in the other American League Division Series opener. The 28-year-old McCullers didn't allow a hit until Yoan Moncada singled with 1 out in the 4th. Yordan Alvarez hit an RBI double in the 3rd and a solo homer in the 5th. Baseball always has the best Caribbean names. Wouldn't you agree? Like, some of the best names in sports come from Major League Baseball. That's still a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, moving on. Point 3. Thursday night football. Matthew Stafford threw for 365 yards and a touchdown, and the Los Angeles Rams beat the Seattle Seahawks 26-17. Seattle quarterback Russell Wilson left in the second half with a finger injury on his throwing hand. Wilson missed significant game time due to injury for the first time after injuring the middle finger on his throwing hand. And by the way, I assume you were watching all the U.S. television coverage this morning. The game was a little late for us East Coasters, so I don't think I saw a snap of the Thursday night game, but they're all over this, that Russell Wilson has never missed a start in 10 years with the Seattle Seahawks. I can't believe that. Did you know that? Were they talking about it on the broadcast last night, the durability of this guy?
Yeah, it's unbelievable how he's just came in, and they have the longest, 9 years without a losing season, right? 9 straight seasons that they haven't had a losing season, and it's all because of Russell Wilson being able to play game in and game out.
By the way, for the Seahawks fans that are watching, of which there are many, and I know that Reed Johnson from the Markcast probably watching from Seattle right now. Who's the other quarterback before Russell Wilson? There really were no other quarterbacks before Russell Wilson in Seattle. But who's the guy? They do have a retired number up there, but this guy's made him forget about everybody else. And I guess that's why there was such panic. Hey?
I go back, Matt Hasselbeck, who was, when I was growing up, was the quarterback for a long time in Seattle.
And Warren Moon. But there's a retired number, I believe, in Seattle, and I can't remember the guy's name because I'm not the biggest Seahawks fan, but Russell Wilson has made them forget everything. And that's why, I guess, Darren, you don't see a lot of criticism of Russell Wilson by Seahawks fans because they know how great this guy's been.
They do. He's a leader. He is great for the community. He's positive. He wins football games. Let's start there. Won a Super Bowl. He's never among the elite. Now, he had a great start to the season last year, but he's never among the top real, 3 quarterbacks in the league. You never put him up there and say he's the best in the game, but he always wins games. He's a great, seems like he's a good teammate, and he's good for the league too. So, yeah, they love him in Seattle.
Well, that'll be, I would think, what we're going to be hearing about the most for the next week is the status of one Russell Wilson. And I just can't believe that he hasn't missed a game in 10 years. Who can say that? I look at my team, the Dallas Cowboys. You don't have to just look back to last year with Dakota Prescott and how many games he missed. Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee hasn't started every game. My gosh, we're talking about the most punished position, save for the running back on the field, and he hasn't missed a game in 10 years.
The last guy I can think of, not at that position, but was Joe Thomas in Cleveland, the offensive line. He had the Iron Man streak, and then when he got hurt, it was the end of his career.
Moving on, we're flying through these. We'll come back and revisit them more in the second block. Number 4 of the Quick 6 show topics here. America's team, the Florida Panthers, announcing this morning that they have signed Alexander Barkov and Sasha Barkov to an 8-year, $80 million deal. It's the same guy, Sasha and Alexander. That's one thing I've learned since, moving to South Florida. Sasha Barkov, Alexander Barkov, same guy. You know what he's saying? Just make sure the check is made out to the right guy.
Yeah.
8 years, $80 million for Sasha Barkov, and I could sit and talk about him forever. There is a sentiment amongst the Panthers fans of which there are many here in this region, Darren, that he is not the grittiest player in the world. He's not that hard-nosed. He doesn't necessarily always show up. But I don't know. 1 week ago tonight, I saw him at FLA Live Arena, $1.17 into the game, rifle a snapshot right down Main Street past a startled Anton Hudobin to open the scoring, and it completely changed the complexion of the game. He's a game changer. Sasha Barkov, an Olympian, 8 years, $80 million. You got something on that before I go to last night's scores?
He's among the elite players in the game. He's in that top tier. I really believe it, among the best players, and highly offensive. But they're going to need him to show up in the playoffs because Florida's going to be there.
That reminds me, by the way, as I get into last night's NHL preseason scores, Corey Perry and Steven Stamkos each scored twice, and the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Florida Panthers 6-2 in a preseason game. Brian Dodge and I were talking about it potentially being a bloodbath last night in Amalie Arena. I talked about Sam Bennett running Vazzy on Tuesday night in Orlando, and Bradley Dodge, the 10-year-old, said, "Relax, Rod, it's just preseason." I turned to his dad and said, "Did you put him up to that?" And Brian's like, no, it's all on his own. Relax, Rod, it's just preseason. So I guess I'll relax with the fact that the Panthers got waxed in Tampa 6-2. Jumbo Joe Thornton and Owen Tippett scored for the Panthers. Spencer Knight started and allowed 3 goals on 17 shots. Christopher Gibson mopped up in the third. Panthers and Lightning will close out the preseason Saturday night here in Sunrise. The New Jersey Devils game against the New York Islanders was canceled due to a power outage. The lights in one part of Prudential Center went out before the start of the game and could not be restarted. Joe Veleno had a goal and an assist, and Thomas Greiss stopped 22 shots to help Detroit beat Pittsburgh 4-2 Thursday night. Josh Norris scored twice in regulation and got the winner in the 5th round of the shootout to lift the Ottawa Senators past Montreal 5-4. Shane Pinto and Chris Tierney also scored in regulation for the Sens. Jeff Petrie had 2 goals. Nick Suzuki a goal and a helper. And Josh Anderson also scored for Montreal. Jake Allen, who clearly the Habs are going to be relying on heavily here to open the season, finished with 28 saves. Matt Dumba scored at 2:34 of overtime to lift Minnesota past 3-2. And finally, Michael Raffle and Josh Robertson scored. And Anton Hudobin stopped 26 shots to help the Dallas Stars beat Colorado 3-1 Thursday night in the National Hockey League. Moving on. Man, are we flying.
Oh, yeah.
0.5. Let's spend a minute on this Canadian Football League. Friday night football tonight. The Edmonton Elks at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers tonight. I think this is going to be a bloodbath. I went to log into my betregal.net account, as I told you, and I couldn't get in. I'm sure it's a me thing. I'm sure it's operator error. But I wanted to see what the spread was, or the line, because we talked about it earlier in the week. What did we have? Was it Winnipeg by 6.5? Like, I think tonight should be a bloodbath at IG Field. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I really don't know. It was a big spread. I thought it was bigger than that. I'm going to have to check out the spread.
I'll look it up, the big board.
For some reason, I thought it was 14 for Winnipeg, which is why, when we play Deal or No Deal, I picked the Elks to cover the spread.
14. Did you say 4? It's 14. Got it in my notes here.
So I'm taking the Elks to cover the spread, but I do think Winnipeg wins the game. I think it's going to be a lot tougher played than people think, too. Like you said, a bloodbath. I think it's going to be a real physical football game. I really do. Be fun.
Yes, IG Field, the place to be. The Blue Bombers 7-1. Trevor Harris returns to quarterback the 2-5 Edmonton Elks. The question is, will it matter? It's not going to matter enough for them to win. It might be enough for them to beat the spread, as you say. 14 points, Winnipeg favored to win. A nice little story moved across the Canadian press wire about Zach Collaros and Trevor Harris coming in as rookies with the 2012 Toronto Argonauts. You know what? They should make a 30 for 30 documentary on that football team. Chris Jones was the defensive coordinator, living on a boat in the Toronto area. Milanovic was the head coach, right? I just saw him on Sunday at the Dolphins game. And I remember and this isn't the proper way of saying it, but Chris Jones, and Zach Collaros were riding around in an SUV. Sounds like the start of a joke, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Chris Jones, and Zach Collaros walk into a bar. And Chris Jones, for whatever reason, starts talking about living on a boat when he coached the Toronto Argonauts in 2012. And I said to him, where did you get your mail? Reasonable question, right? Wouldn't you think?
Very random, though.
You think so?
A little bit.
It's the way that I think. And he looked at me with those shades, and he's like, I didn't get mail. He had it all shipped to his house in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. So anyways, we had that talk about Chris Jones. There was, I believe, another coach, and you'd have to ask Jason Maas about this. It might have been Maas. One of them was sleeping in his car because the rent was too high in Toronto. The rent is too damn high.
Did you ever watch
Is this not a 30 for...
Did you ever watch that movie, The Ladies' Man? You know? Where Leon Phelps was living on a boat. Leon Phelps living on a boat.
Leon Phelps.
It's Chris Jones, apparently.
That's the thing. Believe me, I continue to hear it from the Dodge boys, too. They're like, Rod, whenever you bring up the CFL, we tune out. But these stories are just so darn entertaining. Doesn't matter. You don't need to know who these guys are. The defensive coordinator lived on a boat, and another one lived in his car. Come on. This is entertaining stuff. By the way, FlameTech sponsors our Football Fridays. Locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. FlameTech. And the warm-up is brought to you by eCold Electric. Our annual fall promotion sale is on now with special pricing on hundreds of in-stock items. eCold Electric, let's get to work. Moose, we do have a couple more minutes left of this segment. I just got to bring up, for the sake of where you're situated right now, the Sweatbands capital. It's the Calgary Stampeders at the Saskatchewan Roughriders on Saturday. I was reading the game notes this morning. You won't get this, and I wonder how many will, who the winningest visiting quarterback is of all time in Regina, coming into Taylor Field or Mosaic Stadium, because Bo Levi Mitchell of the Calgary Stampeders is creeping up the list. He's got 4 wins as the road starting quarterback in Regina. The number 2 guy on the list is Conrad Holloway, Toronto Argonauts grade. He's got 5. And there's one quarterback who came in as the road quarterback and had won 10 games at Taylor Field in Regina, the most in CFL history. Does anybody want to take a stab at that at the time we have left in the warm-up here? You can.
2 guesses?
Moose?
Can I have 2 guesses?
You absolutely can. Yeah.
Anthony Calvillo or Henry Burris? Oh, really?
You don't even have the right team. Woo. I'm just checking the comments here on the big board, and
I know
they're all out of order. They're clueless. They're talking about Chris Wallaby.
Double D. Is it Dave Dickinson because he's coming in to coach?
Yeah, see, I'm not getting any of those. I'm not getting any of those comments here. John in Winnipeg says Rod's getting a lot of sun. Pass Rod some sunscreen. I like the shade of brown that the Florida sun's turning my skin. I like it. Randolph has it. Ding, 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 ding. Randolph Charles has it. It's Dieter Brock, the Winnipeg Blue Bomber great, Dieter Brock. And I was saving these for the Dodge boys, but we'll get this out to Randolph in Ontario. I got a few of these. Why not give away some prizes, Moose?
That's a great idea.
You can't buy these in stores, RP Show hats. And by the way, my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat's watching, and she says, chilly in Medicine Hat this morning. Stay in Florida, Rod. Thank you, Chris. Maybe I will. You ready to continue this on the other side of the break, Moose?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay. Going to incorporate a little more viewer participation when we return, because we're only 5 points through the quick 6. This has been the warm-up for eCold Electric, and you're watching the RP Show live from Dodge City in South Florida on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. caution. No one can take me down. Bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Nice little scene setter there from gorgeous Fort Lauderdale, Florida. RP Show continues, FlameTech Football Friday. And as I said, we're going to roll in some viewer comments here in the second block. On the way today, Natey Adjei, Toronto Argonauts color commentator and CFL veteran, and Tori Gurley, our NFL insider. I see that everybody's awake and at it, up and at it. They're talking about the Regina Pats at the Moose Jaw Warriors tonight as God's team gets rolling. My cousin Christine in Medicine Hat Moose wants to know where she can get a Rod Pedersen Show hat. Because you can't buy these in stores. Are we going to make them available on the rpshop.com? I think we should. We should.
Well, and there's going to be, we've had conversations in the last week about our store. So hats, a focus and an emphasis in the store.
Okay, good. And hopefully some iguana-themed merchandise as well.
Very interesting.
They're talking about the Winnipeg Ice and that they're on a roll. So you have the comments right in front of me here. I feel like this is me and my cousin Christine just going back and forth today. She says, I love Durant when no one, right? She goes, I love Durant when nobody else did. My dad and I used to get in the biggest arguments over Darian Durant. I'm so glad that we don't have to argue anymore about that stuff, and Darian's gone. From Mike I'm not glad Darian's gone. I'm glad that I don't have to argue about it anymore. He got it. You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Crisis averted.
But
crisis averted.
That's a good one. Step out of the sack was coming.
Yeah. Rick Ressenthaler is watching in Edmonton. He says, I was able to order one of those controversial Prince Albert Raiders third jerseys and hat. I'll get it in the mail today. Boy, everybody's going off about those Raiders jerseys. I wonder if they sold a ton of them. The deemed offensive and insensitive jerseys. I don't have it in me to talk about that today. And I see people are getting around. Well, we're talking baseball, too. I'll just say Mike Horrigan in Toronto says, is Rod working for the Florida Panthers now? You'd think so, right? But no, not yet. Sports on Tap, we do it every day for the Tap Brewhouse and drive-through liquor store, where you'll never need to ask to have the CFL game put on television. There are 4 baseball games today. If you're into that, which a lot of people say, I only get into this sport in the playoffs. For me, that's baseball. I'm not going to be spending today around the television on a day like this, but all 4 series go today, Moose. 2:07 Eastern, the first game, White Sox at the Astros. Houston's up 1 game to none. And then at 4:37 p.m. Eastern, Atlanta at Milwaukee. That's game 1. 7:02 p.m. Eastern, Boston at Tampa Bay. Game 2. Rays have a 1-0 lead. And then it's the Dodgers at San Francisco. And that's game 1 of what was deemed the best series of them all on our poll question here yesterday by Canada's and North America's smartest sports viewers. One thing we did have a debate last night at the Texas Roadhouse about, there's more baseball fans in Canada than for sure in the state of Florida. Maybe not all of America, but baseball's a bigger thing in Canada than it is here in South Florida because it's a football thing. So let's get to football on a FlameTech Football Friday. I apologize that it's taken me so long. Last night, the L.A. Rams knocking off the Seattle Seahawks. 26-17 was the final in Seattle. Darren, week 5, I've penciled in what I think are some big games, but I don't want to hog up all the TV time. What games are you going to be zeroing in on here in week 5 in the National Football League?
I want to make sure I pull it up. And, I'm sure we'll pull up the betting odds later if you want, but the Green Bay-Cincinnati game is one I'm looking at. You got a pair of 3-1 teams. Joe Burrow and Cincinnati are a team that maybe ahead of schedule a little bit, but they're on the upswing for sure. They're not in that, upper echelon of tier 1 teams, but they're maybe the top of tier 2. They're very good, but this is kind of a statement game for them if they can find a way to beat Green Bay. I think the Packers are only favored by a field goal. So I'm looking at that one as a big game. I look at Minnesota, Detroit for the other reasons because both those teams, they either need to win now or the season's done. I mean, it's almost at that point. I know it's early and it's 17 games, but I look at that. Another slobber knocker is the Cleveland Chargers game. 2 teams that are in that tier 1. I believe that the Browns and the Chargers are in that tier 1, so that's going to be a really big one as well. They're both 3-1. There's a lot of big games. The Cardinals and 49ers is a big one. And the Cowboys-Giants, too. That's another big game. And they're all, divisional games. That's great.
It's funny. I didn't write down any of those games. I wrote down a bunch of other games.
Good.
Isn't it how wonderful the National Football League is? And by the way, with a couple of these comments from our viewers, because it is, I'm feeling charitable today on this FlameTech Football Friday. More viewer comments than normal. Mike Horrigan regarding my allegiances with the Florida Panthers. He says, what are you going to tell Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, RP? I just talked to them this morning. So don't worry. We're good with the Golden Knights. There's enough love to go around. Okay?
Yes.
I know that you like when we sprinkle in stories along with actual game talk and point spread and so forth. The one game I wrote down was Miami Dolphins at Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday. How about that? How big is that?
How about that?
Have you looked at what the BetRegal.net point spread is on that? What would you put the Bucs at? As they're favored. What would you put them at? By how much?
7-10. I mean, they're heavy favorites.
You should do that for a living. You should do that. You should do that. Have you ever thought about being an oddsman? It's 10.
It's 10. Hey,
for the
I
Buccaneers.
might if I need a second income, it'll be doing odds. But look, I mean, Tampa everybody wants to recency bias, right? We want to diminish the Bucs and say they're not that good because Tom Brady put up 19 points against a so-so New England Patriots team. And we want to say Mac Jones is the greatest because he went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady and did all these great things. Well, yes, that happened. But this was also Bill Belichick's Super Bowl. So that defense was schemed and, played above themselves to shut down Tom Brady. It was pouring rain. The Bucs offense is much better than that. They're going to put up points. Look what Buffalo did to Miami, okay? They don't have Tua Tagovailoa in Miami. It's going to be a tough game. But then on the other side, the Bucs are banged up. Could be without their top 3 starting cornerbacks in this football game, dealing with some injuries. So there is a lot of intrigue in this Battle of Florida, I think.
Huge, absolutely. And it doesn't matter. This is kind of one of those games where you say you toss the records out the window.
Yep.
Because it's Miami, Tampa Bay going after it. But, again, sprinkling in fun stories. I was at a Cracker Barrel a couple of weeks ago, Cracker Barrel restaurant. And the lady, let's call her Flo, behind the counter. I was wearing a Buccaneers shirt. And she's like, are you going to get in trouble wearing that down here now? And I know I told you this already. I spun around and said, but it's got Brady 12 on the back, which it does. And she's like, oh, no, we all like Tom. I know I told you that story, but think about that for a second. In South Florida, Dolphins country, they hate the Buccaneers with a passion, but they love Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Darren, that is star power.
Isn't it?
That's like in Calgary, them saying we hate the Oilers, but we love Connor McDavid. That didn't even happen in Calgary. It doesn't happen in Canada, but it's happening here. That's how much they love Tom Brady in the state of Florida, and I wonder how much that permeates the rest of the United States. That happened.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure, when Tom goes to all these other markets, there are people who are buying tickets in large quantities just to see Tom Brady, go against their team. And they cheer Tom Brady, and they want Tom Brady to play well. But they do want their team to win, and we even saw that in New England. And that's different because he spent so much time in New England and won there. But the ovation he got, and, he kind of left that market high and dry, right? I mean, was it Bill? Was it Tom? It doesn't matter. They took a severe step back when he left, and they still love him, right? So that's Tom Brady. That's star power. I don't think LeBron has that kind of star power around the NBA that Tom has around the NFL. That ability to be likable even on your rival.
They don't even like LeBron in L.A., let alone across America. But that is another story altogether. Well, another one, by the way, in the press box. I'm just going to put this out there at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami on Sunday when I was at the Colts and the Dolphins. The talk in the press box was that the CFL is toxic. And because the guys knew that I was a CFL guy, so we got talking about that. And then you look back at this past week, Eddie Steele getting fired for what he said about Brock Sunderland. Everybody's throwing shade at each other. I'm just like, I think you're right. I mean, one guy said, he goes, I've worked with the NFL, NHL. He goes, I'm just looking at the CFL. Those other leagues don't operate that way. They're not as toxic as the Canadian Football League. What's the problem? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not in it anymore. Don't know. But I'm just throwing that out there. That was the talk in the press box in an NFL stadium just last weekend.
Yeah. Well, just quickly on that. I mean, the NFL's not without their problems, too. I mean, look at what's happening with Urban Meyer in Jacksonville, the Deshaun Watson news in Houston, that storyline. So they're not without problems. But look at how much have we talked about Deshaun Watson this year? Zero.
None.
The team's actually playing pretty good, even if they're losing football games, aside from the last week. And they had a decent start. And to be honest, the games are so good, and there's so many other storylines that get pounded down your throat to overshadow the negativity. We're not seeing that in the Canadian Football League. We're not seeing the player-driven storylines, the team-driven storylines going into each game. We're only seeing the negativity being pushed, and there's a problem there in the hype machine.
Yeah. And actually, I feel like we could sit and talk about this a lot because it's picking up in the comments on that. And James in Winnipeg says the Jaguars are so toxic. That's all self-inflicted. What the guys in the press box here in Miami were saying Sunday is team to team, people throwing shade at each other. That's not happening in the National Football. This is self-inflicted stuff by Urban Meyer and Deshaun Watson and anybody else that's in trouble. Richard Sherman, if you want to go that far. But there's a difference in what they're saying. And Darren, I know you understand that. Not everybody else does. John in Winnipeg says, are you going to the NHL home opener in Vegas, Rod? No, we're going to a home opener in another NHL city. And Darren, do you want to drop that before we break and bring in Natey Adjei?
Yeah, let's do it. Edmonton Oilers. We'll be at the home opener next week. So really looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. Because it's time for the puck to drop next week on the National Hockey League. So we'll be in the studio a little bit next week, but we'll be in Edmonton as well. Trying to capture the buzz of Canada's big markets in the National Hockey League. So looking forward to it.
Trying to capture the spirit of the thing.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be doing it in Edmonton. And by the way, Randolph, watching in Ontario, says things happen in other leagues and they turn it into positive publicity. From William May in Lloydminster says that it has always been in the CFL a small league, small-time thinking. And I don't want to turn this into a CFL bashing show either, by the way. God knows we've done enough of that. I'm past that. Don't want to be part of that. I'm just telling you what was the buzz in Miami here last weekend. The CFL's toxic. And it is. But how do you cure that? I don't know. You walk away from all the recovery coaching documentation that I've read. That's what you remove yourself from the toxic situation. You know that, Moose.
Yeah.
In life. And by the way, segue here from Pete in the 570. He says, big deal. So the Argos won. I'm so happy that they and the 999 other people in attendance saw it. LOL. See, that's toxic right there. 101. As some have pointed out, the Toronto FC's drawing fewer than the Argos, but nobody says anything about that. But when we come back, we're not going to talk about Argonauts attendance at all. Please hold me to that. We're going to talk about the first place team in the East, though, with their color man and alum, Natey Adjei. Moose, we'll see you back in a bit.
See you then.
We are broadcasting a FlameTech Football Friday from beautiful Dodge City on this FlameTech Football Friday on the Game Plus television network, YouTube, live and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Another beautiful day in paradise, talking ball from the Sunshine State. You can just imagine how much they're looking forward to the Buccaneers and the Dolphins Sunday from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay. We're talking CFL as well, and very excited to welcome in Natey Adjei, 6-year CFLer with 3 different teams, played at the University of Buffalo, and I understand he's at a golf course today. Natey, thanks for fitting us in on clearly a very busy day. What you got cooking there in the Toronto area?
No problem at all. You know, Rod, I've been tuning into your show the last couple of days, and I've seen you in Florida at a tea time today. I didn't want to cancel because I wanted to keep the same vibe, you know, the warm weather vibe. So, you know, thank you for inspiring me.
My pleasure, man. That's what I'm here for. And Natey, before I go any further, I can't tell you enough how beautiful I think it is, how you're settling into this color radio role with the Argos. It just seems to fit you like a glove. Are you enjoying it as much as you seem to be enjoying it?
Absolutely. Honestly, I wake up on game day, and it feels the same way as it felt like when I played. You get those butterflies, that excitement. You know, you get to be a part of football. But honestly, I wake up and I feel like it's what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's what I love about it. People ask me if I miss football, and you know, you miss the little things, but I honestly feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing now. And that's the beauty of it. I am enjoying it a lot.
Good. Well, it shows. It absolutely shows. Now, having said that, we got to talk about this Argo game from 2 nights ago. 35-16, Toronto beats Ottawa, and I just had a chat with a football guy this morning. He's like, "Oh no, Ottawa's that bad. Anybody could have beat him by that much." Whatever. That people got to talk. How did you feel that game went?
I don't feel like anybody could have beaten by that much. Edmonton didn't beat them by that much, you know, when they had the opportunity to. And this quarterback, Caleb Evans, was going in there with no CFL experience, right? So the Argos obviously did what they were supposed to do. They're the better team on paper. They're facing a rookie quarterback. They had a defensive coordinator, Chris Jones, who you know very well, had a game plan to unsettle that quarterback and to make him kind of see things that weren't there, to bring pressure, to make him uncomfortable. And they executed it. And they end up scoring in all 3 phases, right? So there was a complete team effort. And when you win in professional football, you never take it for granted. You never say, "Oh, yeah, we were supposed to win," or we're the better team," because you never know. I'm sure Edmonton went into Ottawa last week. Everybody picked them, and they couldn't get it done. It's still professional football. They all get paid. And when you can get a win, you'll take it.
To your trained eye, Natey, have you seen the differences on the defense since Chris Jones showed up in town?
You know what? The defense was one of the better defenses in the CFL. They were, top in the CFL and stopping the run. So they were good. They had pieces. but I've seen a difference in kind of style, right? They're bringing more pressure. They're more aggressive. They seem to be taking on the identity of their defensive coordinator. So I've seen that, but there's still the same great players on that defense, right? Like Shaq Richardson was just one of the top performers last week. He's been there all season. He's been doing really well all season. Chris Edwards, a Sam linebacker, aggressive player, been really playing well at a high level all season long. Sean Oakman, had never played defensive tackle before in his career, right? They moved him to defensive tackle, and he's been having a monster all-star caliber season, right? So, he's had pieces, right? And he's been put in a good situation where he can come in and kind of take over, add on to what they've been doing. So I've seen a little bit of changes here and there, but Chris Jones definitely has, the weapons to, kind of make this defense what you've seen in the past.
Hey, Natey, I know how hard it is to golf and come on this show. There's not a lot of time between shots, so I won't keep you much longer. Let me just ask you a couple
I got all day
ones.
for you, man. I got all day for you.
Okay, good, because I don't want to let you go. But when Dinwiddie ripped the team after, and we saw that in the media coverage, ripped the offense and said it was their worst offensive showing of the year, how did you feel about that? Was he right?
He was right. It wasn't an impressive show, and he was right in doing that. And I like the approach Coach Dinwiddie takes, right? Because he's real with the players. What he says to the media is what he will say to them to their face, right? So, as a player, you appreciate that, because, a coach that cares that much about you is going to tell you how it is at all times. I appreciate that because I know as a player, I don't want a coach telling me one thing behind closed doors and telling the media, something else. I want you to keep it 100. Coach Jason Moss was the same way. He would tell you exactly how you felt, and he would be honest. All those players to a man would tell you that it was an embarrassing performance as well. So, the thing about the Toronto Argonauts, though, when they do have embarrassing performances or performances where they aren't up to standard, they always bounce back. Three times this year, they've kind of suffered embarrassing type of losses. And every single game, the next game, they come back, even beating the defending champions, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, in a back-to-back in a game they had been embarrassed the week prior.
It is a battle for first place on Monday afternoon now at the Coffee Cup, Tim Hortons Field. Everybody wants to know, are you making the road trip to call that game with Hoagie?
Yes.
Argos at Ticats on Monday afternoon.
Yes, we do all home games and the Hamilton games. So we will be there. Can't miss that one. That rivalry goes way back, before, way, way, way back. So we'll be there for sure. We cannot miss that game.
Okay, now you are channeling your inner Don Matthews. Are you old enough to remember the former Argos coach that wore those Oakleys like that? Are they making a comeback? What's the deal with your shades? He made those things famous.
I do remember Don Matthews. I was a kid, but I remember him coaching some of those Montreal teams. Like I was really, really young, and he had that kind of famous defense that Chris Jones runs now, right? Where you bring pressure, relentlessly. You make the quarterback uncomfortable, and he did a lot of winning in the CFL. So it's hard not to remember a guy like that. But I'm wearing these because they're kind of like the Argo blue, Argo colors. So that's the only reason I'm wearing them.
Well, you make them look real good. Better than they ever looked on Don. And lastly, producer Clark dug up a photo of you and Tori Gurley together from your Argos days. Can you please tell me a Tori story, man? He's like my surrogate son, okay? Illegitimate son Tori is to me. Tell me a story of you and Tori's days with the Argos.
Okay, I got a couple. But Tori, obviously, he's a big guy, right? And I think when we had signed him, he was he came. I think he'd come from the NFL, right? And massive dude. So he comes almost at the end of training camp, right? End of training camp. He doesn't know any of the plays, and he shows up first day. He's in the cafeteria, and we see this massive human being, and we're like, oh man, we must have signed another defensive end or somebody to rush the passer. And we all go up to him, hey man, what position you play? And he's like, man, I play receiver. And I'm like, what? Receiver? We're like looking up, like, wait, what? This guy's a receiver? He's like, yeah, man, I just make plays. That's all I do. I just make plays. I'm like, all right, we'll see. Right, the first day, he's like, yeah, all I do is make plays. All I do is catch touchdowns and make plays. He goes into the first preseason game, knows none of the plays, right? Doesn't even understand what the quarterback's saying in the huddle. He just says, I'm going deep, right? And he scored 3 touchdowns in our first preseason game at University of Toronto. And I'll never forget it. Ever since then, I'm like, yeah, man, whatever you say, you're the real deal, Tori. Big money. We call him Big Money because he's always shooting dice in the locker room and scoring touchdowns.
I can't wait to get him on next hour. I'll be calling him Big Money. The guy just makes plays. He's a success at everything that he does. Hey, Natey, thanks for the time. Hit him straight, my friend, and enjoy the game on Monday.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to join you, Rod. I appreciate it. Enjoy that sun, man. I know I don't have to tell you, but I know you enjoy that sun.
You bet. Thank you, my friend. Natey Adjei, Argos radio colorman and CFL alum, joining us from a golf course somewhere in the GTA. We'll be back in a moment. It is a FlameTech Football Friday. You're watching on the Game Plus television network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Alum looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games.
Play among legends at betregal.net.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
We're live, South Florida, the place to be. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Sports update before we bring the Moose in. The Houston Astros and Tampa Bay Rays were winners in the first two American League Division Series games Thursday night. The Astros coasted to a 6-1 victory over the Chicago White Sox before the Rays blanked the Boston Red Sox 5-0. The National League Division Series kick off this afternoon as Charlie Morton takes the mound for the Atlanta Braves in Milwaukee. The Brewers will counter with Corbin Burns. Later, Walker Buehler gets the start for the LA Dodgers in San Fran. Logan Webb goes for the Giants. Quarterback Zach Caleros and Trevor Harris may be foes on the football field, but they're also friends who support each other. Harris and the 2-5 Edmonton Elks visit Caleros and the CFL leading Winnipeg Blue Bombers tonight. It's Harris's return to action after sitting out the past two games with the neck injury. Caleros and Harris met when they were rookies with the Argos in 2012, and they became roommates. Again, I'm telling you, it's a 30 for 30 documentary. And the LA Rams rebounded from their first loss of the season with a big road dub on Thursday Night Football. Matthew Stafford threw for 365 yards and a touchdown as the Rams defeated the Seahawks 26-17 to improve to 4-1. The sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games. Book your group or business Christmas party now. For the Tap Brewhouse and drive-through liquor store, and for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. We are broadcasting a FlameTech Football Friday from sunny South Florida. Please bring the Moose on the screen. I heard him cackling there at our aerial shots coverage provided by Goodyear. Moose, out of all of this, I have some things I could throw at you, but what's on your mind right now as we
You don't want
come
to know.
to a close of hour one?
You don't want to know.
Tell me. Come on, tell me.
The only thing.
Yes, I do.
What's on my mind is I want to know if Chris Jones has a smiley face tattoo on the back side of his butt like Leon Phelps.
How about that?
That would be in the 30 for
No, you're
30.
right.
But
right.
No, you didn't. That's it.
It's okay. It's all good, my friend. I'm just looking at it. Matthew Stafford, 365 yards and a touchdown for the Rams. They went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff now. So I'm just sitting here saying, all they were missing was the quarterback that Sean McVay wanted? Is that all that they were missing to go into Seattle and win? It's not that easy to do. Like, look what Matthew Stafford's doing. And you and I were talking earlier about the Detroit Lions. With the aforementioned Jared Goff, they haven't won yet. They're 0-4.
Yeah.
So what's your reading on, was Jared Goff the problem with the LA Rams?
No, he's a talented quarterback. There's a reason he's a top pick in the NFL. And he's playing actually not bad in Detroit. They're close. They're not as bad as 0-4 is making Detroit look. And I think Goff will have a decent career. But look, at that game was a lot closer than it should have been last night. And I watched it this morning, but LA went up and down the field. Stafford made the bad interception in the end zone when he was trying to throw it away. That took points off the board. They outplayed Seattle up and down the field. They're a good football team, and Matt Stafford is having a lot of fun with Sean McVay. So it's special to watch.
And then poor Jared Goff. And they got the Vikings this weekend, which we'll kick this around in the second half kickoff for Core Grain. Whatever topics you all want to talk about today. Today, not as much hot topics on the burner like yesterday with the Carey Price news. Although I would like to get into that if you don't mind, Darren, because my phone's been blowing up on Carey Price talk. But we'll talk about Friday Night Football in the CFL, Edmonton at Winnipeg, Week 5 in the NFL, plus Tori Gurley all ahead after this break. You're watching on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You probably saw Ryan Dinwiddie ripped his team afterwards. Said it was the worst offensive performance of the year. I think they said they only had 253 yards offense. What if he hurt somebody's feelings?
Did you win the football game? Did it work? They won the football game.
Did you hurt any feelings?
The players are going to have to deal with that. I mean, yeah. I don't think he's going to have to apologize.
It's the Sunshine State with the Rod Pedersen Show.
Another great day to be alive. And talking sports poolside here in Dodge City in South Florida. It's a FlameTech Football Friday. The Moose is with us in the bunker. It's game day in Winnipeg at IG Field. The Blue Bombers home to the Edmonton Elks. The hockey people are pretty excited. Week 5 of the National Football League. We got a lot to get to as we can bring the Moose in on my screen. I wanted to point out the rock star of the day yesterday, by the way, was voted to be Andrew Hustler Patterson of Winnipeg Sports Talk. So my hats are on the ground here. Pick one up. These beautiful rock star of the day hats. One will be shipped out to Andrew Hustler Patterson. Did we decide we're going to make these available in stores? Because they are a sharp hat, man. You know people want to wear these things.
They're pretty great. So I think we probably will. And we've got other hats that are going to be coming into the store. So I know people are looking for hats, so we're going to get some really cool hats in there.
Oh, good. Well, I'll tell you something. I remember back in the day with the Rough Riders, I'm not going to name which players. I don't want to out them. But they were upset that sideline team gear was being sold in the Riders store, right? They're like, that's our stuff. That's exclusive stuff for the. And there was a time and a place for that, probably a few decades ago, up until a couple decades ago. But now it's all about the cheese, man. We need cheese for our crackers. And if you can buy sideline gear, you're going to buy it as an NFL fan, a CFL fan, an NHL fan. So if fans want to buy a Rock Star of the Day hat, which was supposed to be saved for the Rock Star of the Day, I say we let them. What do you say, Moose? It's all about business.
You know what? I was watching the National Football League draft, and I saw the hats that they were giving out to all of the
Had to have one.
picks. I need that. I went on the internet and ordered it, and it's my favorite hat. I love it. So, yeah, why not, right? Why not?
Official sideline gear from the Rod Pedersen Show and Rockstar Supply Chains. Let's just put that out there. They're the ones that paid for it. I said there's a lot of topics on the table. It's very much like a night at the Golden Corral, which incidentally I have not made yet on this trip, Moose, and probably won't. But I'll get back here on the next trip. A lot of topics on the table here. Let me just clean out the Prairie Mobile text line for a minute on the football talk. Last night, Thursday Night Football, LA Rams over the Seattle Seahawks, 26-17. Russell Wilson was hurt. That was the big story coming out of the game. He left the game in the second half, and he hasn't missed a game in 10 years. I can't believe it. I didn't know Russell Wilson was that durable. And for anybody that was complaining about Russell Wilson in Seattle, of which there weren't that many, but they're about to maybe find out what life is like without Russell Wilson. Brady in Saskatoon is watching, and he texts on the Prairie Mobile text line, "Hey, Rod, with Russ's finger injury comes the moment all of us Hawks fans have been dreading. It's a proposed mallet finger, which could sideline him 6 to 8 weeks." Apparently, Brady's a doctor now, Moose. He says, "The moment you wish the O-line could have stood tall for a potential Lockett touchdown and saved a vital player from getting an injury. Gino played fantastic. Sadly, it didn't end the way we wanted." So that's from the Seahawks Nation. From the 12s, weighing in. From Leonard, regarding the assertion from the press box in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami here last week, and the guys I was talking to, they were saying that the CFL seems toxic from the coverage that they see. People throwing shade at each other, people getting fired for saying the truth, blah, blah, blah. Leonard writes in from the 536. He says, "I don't think the CFL is toxic compared to other sports. I think it's a very vibrant organization, and a little bit of drama is also good." Well, Leonard will have to agree to disagree on that. But you're certainly entitled to your opinion. We welcome all opinions here on the RP show. And speaking of that, I had a lot of people blowing up my phone last night and this morning, Darren, on the Carey Price situation. That was one of the things when I had a call from Vegas this morning. The guy on the other end of the line was like, "What's your take on the Carey Price thing?" He says, "Carey's getting vilified for entering the Players Assistance Program in the NHL." And I said, "Well, I haven't seen that. You, Darren, are going to have to tell me if that's the case in your circles where you're here in South Florida." Any talk about Carey Price has all been very heartfelt, and because there are a lot of Montreal Canadiens fans here, there's a lot of Quebecers. They're just hoping for the best for Carey Price. But the guy that was calling me this morning from Vegas just said, where are you on the prescriptions? And we kind of rolled in the Robin Leonard thing. And I said, well, I can tell you as not only a certified recovery coach, but a person in recovery, January 27th, 2015, the number one weapon against mental illness is holistic healing therapy, the talking cure, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, not writing a prescription. I said, it's funny you asked that because that's just my rule of thumb. I was on the prescriptions. I'm not anymore. When I got into recovery, I threw away antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds. Threw them away. And then I was having physical reactions to my body detoxifying from them. I'm like, I had that crap in me? I'm not taking that stuff. I'm not saying that nobody should take it. I'm saying it wasn't for me. But has Carey Price, and I still don't know what Carey Price's issue is because it's none of our business. We covered that yesterday. But is CP31 being vilified like I'm being led to believe outside my little South Florida bubble here?
I don't think so. I haven't really seen him being vilified for this. I mean, you wonder, right? Is it because he was dealing with surgery potentially on his knees? Was that not the case in this offseason? And what he was going to have to deal with?
Torn meniscus.
Right, with the injuries. And maybe, you see this as a cover for that. But I'm not accusing him of that. I don't think that's what's going on here. In Montreal, again, I haven't been in that marketplace since the Stanley Cup final when you were there with me. And I don't know what that marketplace is doing because we know how heated those fans are, and they got a taste of it. They were in the Cup final. They know the potential of this group, and it's so hard to get back there. So they now have to look at potentially getting back there without Carey Price. Now, hope that's not the case. I don't think that'll be the case, but we don't know when he's coming back. And so they don't really, I don't know that they believe they can get there if they don't have Carey Price. Canadian hockey fans are worried about the Olympics in Beijing without Carey Price as our goaltender. So there's a lot of that, I think, happening, but I don't know that he's being vilified for going into the program.
It's fair that people would worry about the future of the Montreal Canadiens and Team Canada at the Olympics. That's just human nature. That's one thing that I work with players a ton on, in that they don't care about you. Sorry to say. You know, we had to remind people to worry about Carey Price, the person, first yesterday. But it is a FlameTech Football Friday, and so I will get it back to football here in a second. Somebody from the General in Calgary said if you're against him going to the player assistance program, you're a horrible human being. That's not what I'm saying. Nobody's saying they're against it. They're saying they're vilifying Carey for going into it. And what I said to the guy this morning in Vegas, I said, I don't know if we're even making any headway here in the recovery industry. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to tell people it's a good thing that Carey Price has sought assistance for any issues he may be having, but no, people are, what's wrong with him? It's terrible. I just wonder sometimes if we're making a difference, man.
I know.
I really do. Any more on this before we move on?
No, let's go.
Okay. Darren Workman on is the CFL toxic discussion. Darren in Salt Lake City says the CFL seems to refuse to do any forward or big thinking. The XFL had organizational meetings this week that may have included some relationship with the NFL. We spent so much time in the spring and summer talking about the CFL, XFL thing. And not that my feelings were hurt because you can't hurt my feelings, but I just got tired of being dragged through the mud for giving my thoughts on that CFL, XFL thing and where the CFL is going. I mean, I had a call last week. You know who the guy was. Pretty prominent CFL media figure who said that the CFL needs some help here financially, from the promo aspect. And I said, do you think they know that? And he goes, I don't think they do. So is it worthwhile even talking about it?
I don't know. I mean, you're right. I mean, we think the tickets sell themselves. The teams are responsible. We all want to say somebody else is responsible for doing it, right? When in reality, we all need to do it. But they're just missing a little bit of that hype machine and somebody who's willing to take on that onus to stir things up, create storylines, and create buzz. Everybody just wants to sit back and, you know, where it feels like we're all walking on eggshells a little bit. And you can't be afraid to upset some people to create a little buzz and let the passion sink in and take a shot. Now, some of those teams got some pretty good social media people who are doing their part and working as hard as they can to try and turn up the buzz. I'm looking at places like Toronto, Hamilton, Winnipeg. They did a great job, you know, trying to stir things up on social, but it's got to go further than that. And I hope the league's going to start to get there. I know money's tight. I know we're in a pandemic, so, you know, you get a little bit of a pass. But this is the time to dig in. I mean, we all sit here from a political point of view and worry about deficits and budgets and stuff. But in reality, to keep your league up here, when times are good, you pay things back. And when times are bad, that's when you go into debt to pay to keep your league relevant, right? Times are bad financially. This is when you should be taking on risk, taking on debt to try and make sure the league stays afloat. And then when times are good, you pay that debt off. But the hype, needs to be there. It's missing a little bit, and I hope they continue to work at it.
I'm with you, Moose. And I wanted to point something else out, by the way. It's 1:11 where I am, and it is 11:11 where you are. I'm trying to play a sound effect there, but
I like it. The door of opportunity?
The door of opportunity is opening for you. Yes, exactly. The door of opportunity is opening for you and for me. Anybody whose time is 12:11 And 10-11. I don't know what to say about you guys. Sorry. But for us, 1-11 and 11-11. My teeth look especially white.
Did you get a little procedure when you're down there?
No, that's the thing.
I've been thinking about it since Ron Duguay came on the show and said he spent, $27,000 in Mexico on his teeth. I'm thinking about a professional whitening, but
I think it's just living right.
Yeah.
Ryan in Saratoga, New York writes in and he says, hockey can wait. Wellness comes first. Everything else can wait. Wellness does need to come first. I remember I sent a group text out to both my brothers when I entered recovery, and believe me, I was at rock bottom. Rock bottom. You and I, Moose, hadn't even met yet. And I said, guys, it's over. I'm entering recovery. One of my brothers wrote back and said, what's recovery? I said, I don't know, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm done. And every day since has been better, I swear to God. And again, I don't know what Carey Price's issues are. Recovery encompasses a lot of things.
Yeah.
And by the way, the definition of it is to restore something to its original state. Just to throw that out there, okay? Again, I wonder if we're making a difference. From my cousin Christina Medicine Hats, she says, you're making a difference even if only for a few. I'll take it if it's just one. From Jack Fulton in Vulcan, Alberta, he says, don't forget Carey Price is also dealing with the whole native tragic event as well as COVID and pressures of leading the Canadians. Prayers up for number 31. Huh. You think there might be a little pressure with being the goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens? You think there might be? I'm surprised more guys don't go into the NHL Player Assistance Program for the love of Pete.
Oh, I know.
Christine says, without recovery, you could be dead by now. Without recovery, I would be dead right now. Trust me, every single day is a gift when I would be dead. Chris, you know that. You're being nice. From William May and Lloydminster says, the owner of the BC Lions would be good to give the CFL a lift. Where's that guy been? Last seen on this show, I think, hasn't he, Moose?
It's the last time I seen his face. Yeah. But he's got a lot of work to do in that market, too, and I'm sure he's busy behind the scenes making sure that organization's on the right path.
Amar Dolman.
Yeah.
From Northside YEG in Edmonton, he says, Carey... No, where'd he go? A lot of comments coming in here. Northside YEG. Most guys get sober from getting in the gym and staying active. I really do wonder what Carey Price is dealing with. You can wonder all you want. It's none of your business. It's like Jason Wall watching in Manitoba. He says, similar situation with Jonathan Taves last year when he sat out. Lots of speculation and rumors, and were untrue. Again, none ya business. It's supposed to be FlameTech Football Friday, right, Moose?
Yes.
Pump. Let's get back to that when we come back. We'll get the graphic ready for betregal.net. I want to talk about also tonight's NHL games, if we can, and a whole lot more. It is a lot of fun today. You are watching a FlameTech Football Friday on the RP Show. FlameTech, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. You're watching on the Game Plus television network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Another scene in sunny Fort Lauderdale as we broadcast a FlameTech Football Friday from South Florida. Another gorgeous day. Big football weekend here. They all are, but it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are home to the Miami Dolphins on Sunday, by the way, in Week 5. Buccaneers favored by 10. Sports update before we get back to more with the Moose on this FlameTech Football Friday. Game 2 in the best-of-5 American League Division Series will continue tonight between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Boston Red Sox. The Rays took the opener 5-0. Randy Arozarena became the first player to hit a home run and steal home in a playoff game. Chris Sale scheduled to start for Boston against rookie Shane Baz. In the other ALDS opener, Houston beat Chicago 6-1. They get after it again today. The two NL Division Series open today. The Brewers home to the Braves in a matinee. Later on tonight, it's the late game, 9:37 Eastern. The San Francisco Giants take on the rival LA Dodgers. The CFL leading Winnipeg Blue Bombers home to the Edmonton Elks on Friday Night Football. The Bombers ended the game 7-1. They've won 5 in a row. Edmonton quarterback Trevor Harris returns to action after missing 2 games with a sore neck. The Elks 2-5. That puts them 8th in the CFL. 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's what I got written down. Russell Wilson has never missed a start in his NFL career, but that streak could be in jeopardy. The Seahawks quarterback suffered a finger injury in Seattle's 26-17 loss to the Rams on Thursday Night Football. Seattle coach Pete Carroll described the middle finger on Wilson's throwing hand as badly sprained. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis. Visit today at dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including my favorite, the almond coconut. Order yours today at g2gbars.ca. Get 20% off with the promo code RPShow. I don't know if they posted it on YouTube or not, Moose, the poll question, or if we even talked about it. And that is, which 1 and 3 NFL team is in more trouble, the New York Giants or Minnesota Vikings? Is the Moose there? Yeah, there he is.
Yep.
Hi. Who needs a win more, Vikings or Giants? The Giants visit the Dallas Cowboys, and the Vikings have the Detroit Lions in town. So I got a feeling who's going to win. But did we put that up on our YouTube page for the poll for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center?
Yeah, they say it's up now.
Clark says, okay.
Yeah. This is a really tough question, and I don't know that I have an answer. The Giants, what are they, 1 and 3? They're probably the best 1 and 3 team. You know, they're a good football team. Daniel Jones is putting up actually some decent numbers. Saquon Barkley's starting to get going a little bit. The Giants are a team that should push the Cowboys for top spot in that division and for a wild card spot if they're not going to win the division. I like the Giants. I think they're actually better than their record indicates. They really need it. If they go to 1 and 4, they're in a lot of trouble. But it's the same for Minnesota. Minnesota with Kirk Cousins, we all want to bag on Kirk Cousins. And I know Arash, and I know Peter Labardius, and I know Kelly Rempel, and all these Vikings fans. They just can't stand Kirk Cousins because he's not winning them football games. And I get that. But he's pretty good on the field. Again, I said this before, there hasn't been a quarterback who's lost more games by 3 points or less in the last 2 years than Kirk Cousins. So it's not like they're getting blown out. They're in all these games. He's putting up some good numbers, but just not winning. And they should be a playoff team. So if they don't win and they go to 1 and 4, I mean, it's a juicy poll question. I don't have an answer.
I know. I think you brought up the Kirk Cousins point earlier on in the week. And I never liked when people brought hockey analogies into football and football analogies into hockey, but now I'm going to be that guy. I had an NHL coach friend of mine. Watch your toes. I'm going to drop some names here. Rich Preston was an assistant coach with the Anaheim Ducks, Calgary Flames, Chicago Blackhawks, San Jose Sharks. We heard a coach of another team whining, if you will, about his team leading the league in 1-goal losses. And what Rico said to me, and I know that there are disciples of Rich watching right now because they're texting me. Hockey people are watching on Game Plus TV in Alberta. But anyways, Rico said, you're losing 1-goal games because you're not good enough. Like he was yelling it at the television. We were watching it together. And I'm like, right. But you see the parallel.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is losing games by 3 points or less because he's not good enough. That's my take on that stat. Yeah. I mean, are you buying that stat? Because clearly Kirk Cousins isn't good enough.
Well, you're convincing me, man, that if you're not winning games, you're not good enough. You are what else have you said? You are what your record tells you. Your record is what you are, right? You are
John
what you are.
Lynch.
Right. And maybe he's not good enough, but he does all these good things in the football game and then ends up with the loss. And he's good enough to keep the team in all these games and give them a shot. He's good enough to break all the hearts in Minnesota and all the fans, and that's not good enough. So for Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, they got to decide if they're going to be good or not. So that's why I think it's important for them to win this football game, because if they win and Kirk goes on a roll, then maybe he is good enough. But if he doesn't, then they got to move on.
Aren't they paying him $28 million a year?
It's a lot of money. I don't know the dollar figure exactly, but it's a lot, among the most in the National Football League. They got to figure out what they have. Either he's going to win, either get in or get out. This week, I think you could determine that.
I'm dying to tell you who this hockey person is. Did you put this up to the screen? You see the James Franco gif?
Yes.
That's what he texted. Of the wink? That's what he texted me.
I love it.
It's watching right now on Game Plus TV. And he also wants us to ship him one of these Rod Pedersen Show hats, and he wants to know if they fit buffalo heads. So am I starting to zero in? Hockey guy in Alberta with a buffalo head really narrows it down, doesn't it?
I know. We're going to get the snapback adjustable hats. They'll fit everybody.
Oh, perfect. What are these ones?
Those are those flex
these
fit.
are the flex fit.
And the big ones went fast. They're gone. The real big ones.
I know, right? And it says right on it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions, the sponsor of the Rockstar of the Day. And this gentleman, I'll be home soon enough. I can ship it out myself, or maybe we'll talk to our shipping department. But we got T-shirts too. Let's get it going. But I'm just dying to tell you who the coach was that Rico was referring to. But I never ever forgot that, and I learned so much from Rich. I learned so much from these hockey and football guys. But it's just literally don't let somebody talk to you. We lead the league in being this close. Yeah, and what do you get for that? What do you get for that? Yeah, what a fun discussion we're having today, eh, Moose?
Or you get $28 million contract.
How about that?
Well, and that reminds me, too, by the way. I'm just trying to get the viewer comments up here. My MacBook's a real dog's breakfast today. Here we go. From Pinks, one of our P1s. Kirk Cousins, you're not a good quarterback. You like that? That's what Kirk Cousins will be known for. Not winning a Super Bowl. Okay? Well, we really got people going in here. From Rick Resenthaler, going back to the Carey Price thing. He says, hey, Rod, we all know professional athletes face personal demons and issues. George Chavallo is a classic example. Rick in Edmonton, everybody has personal demons and issues. Everybody. It's not just professional athletes. And if you'll forgive me, Moose, 1 in 10 human beings battle addiction. 1 in 5 battle mental health issues. And that's just reported. There's a lot of us that think there's potentially 3 in 5 battle mental health issues. They just don't admit it or don't know that they're battling it. Darren Workman in Salt Lake. How come we took the Moose off the screen? Was I doing something? Oh, to put on the Core Grain ad.
The Aurora.
Core Grain, doing what's right for your farm.
Just
where did it go? Yeah, go ahead, man.
Just for the Minnesota fans. Kirk Cousins is 11th in total yards, ahead of Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Jared Allen, Ryan Tannehill, Mac Jones, Matt Ryan, Joe Burrow, right? He's 6th in touchdowns, tied for 6th in touchdowns in the National Football League, ahead of Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, Matt Ryan, Trevor Lawrence, Sam Darnold. So that's what we talk about. He's putting up numbers and doing all these things, not winning any football games.
That's why I didn't like Tony Romo. He's got, you go back and look at the Dallas Cowboys record book, he's got most single game and single season Cowboys records. He didn't win, period. And so many people, a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans love Tony Romo. And by the way, that reminds me of I love the amount of football people that watch our show. Hockey people too, obviously, but that best general manager in the CFL discussion that you and I didn't even come up with the other day. It was all in the comments section.
Yeah.
Right? It was all the viewers that were raging about it. And I said, it's Jim Pop, end of story, 6 Grey Cups. Well, a coach in the States was watching and he goes, it's John Huffnagel, end of story. And I said, maybe if Huff had been around for 30 years like Jim Pop, maybe. but it goes by championships, period. Tony Romo didn't win playoff games either, let alone Super Bowls. Stop it.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman's got 3. End of story. And that's why I get so upset on the Darian Durant thing and the 13th man, and why I could just cry for the guy, because he had a ring literally stolen off his finger by the 13th man. And there was so many fans that were like, oh, it's okay, we'll get him next year. No! We count these things. It was one of the most egregious things to ever happen in sports, that 13th man. There's another 30 for 30 documentary, but I think they did do a documentary on that, did they not?
I think
Engraved
so.
on the Nation. Did they not do a documentary? They did, right?
Yeah. We've kind of scratched that from our minds, too.
Yeah, I think about it almost every day. But I see that everybody's talking here about NFL team, blah, blah, blah. Ken Gill writes in on YouTube and says, if he had to guess, who would you say is the most popular NFL team in Canada? I don't want to say it because I don't really like them. But I would say the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I'd put the Vikings up there too. Well, maybe not in Canada. I'd put the Vikings because it's close proximity, like around the prairies, the 3 prairie provinces. It might be the Vikings, a little bit of Chicago Bears. I would put the Packers. I'd put the Cowboys, the Seahawks for Western Canada probably. And a lot of times we, in the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick 20-year dynasty, we saw a lot of Patriots fans up here too. So I'd probably go Green Bay, Dallas, Seattle, New England would be my 4. But again, that's just my personal experience.
Like you say, though, it's a geographic thing. Yeah. And where we're from, it's largely Packers and Vikings. But, the Bills have a lot of fans in Eastern Canada. Now we're really getting into it. Jeffrey Townen, he is a big Stamps fan, writes in and says, so then you would agree Bo Levi is better than Durant and Fajardo? I never said he wasn't. I've always said Fajardo's my favorite player. And I've always said that I would vote for him for the most outstanding player in the CFL. And oh my goodness, we're going to have to bring this back around later, Moose, for overtime on the Fajardo thing, because the football people are thinking he's slipping into a sophomore slump. And for Jeffrey Townen here, listen, I was reading the game notes this morning for week 10 in the CFL. When we talked about the CFL being toxic, I probably had a role in that. So I'll apologize with my feud with Bo Levi, which I think we're working towards getting over. But that was a rivalry thing, and it wasn't personal, by the way. That was just for fun. But Bo Levi, as I was reading in the game notes, continues to be the winningest quarterback in CFL history, winning percentage-wise. Forget about Durant and Fajardo. We're talking Doug Flutie, Warren Moon. Bo Levi's got the highest winning percentage in the regular season of anybody. He just happens to quarterback the Calgary Stampeders, and we had a fun little rivalry going back. But I can acknowledge he's the best player in the CFL now and maybe ever. Scrub that, erase that. I don't want that living in infamy. But it is the truth. I'm at least man enough and big enough to admit, based on that. Do we have Tori logged in yet, by the way? Oh, he's probably laughing right now. All right. Moose, we'll kick this around when you come back for overtime, okay?
You bet. Enjoy, Tori.
Get your NFL questions ready. We got big money. Tori Gurley coming in next on this FlameTech Football Friday, live from South Florida on the Game Plus television network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pie.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
FlameTech Football Friday continues. FlameTech, locally owned and operated, industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. We are live from Football Mad South Florida. Very much enjoying our football discussion today, both CFL and NFL. And I'm going to mix in some college in a moment here as we bring in our NFL insider, Tori Gurley, Packers and Browns alum. And listen, we got to say, big money, Tori Gurley. We had Natey Adjei on 1 hour ago. He's a big fan of you, Tori, and he told some stories. So do you remember showing up and not knowing any plays in week one and scoring 3 touchdowns? Tell me some Natey Adjei stories, because he told some on you.
Man, my memory of Natey Adjei, honestly, it was one of those things where I was able to watch him mature into a man. You know, I literally, when he got engaged, got married, and when his wife got pregnant, you know, I was able to watch this guy start to, you know, transition in life where he was like, look, I want to be the best father I can be. And just having those conversations with him in the locker room, you know, he was mid-20s, and we were having conversations like that. And that inspired me to be a family man as well, because he was looking at me as a leader on the football field, but he just don't understand the impact he had on me as a man, because I was watching someone younger than me step up to the plate and prepare, you know, his family and his life for bigger and better things. So I'm extremely proud of him.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, clearly it goes both ways. And he said they all thought you were a defensive end when you showed up because of your sheer size. But I know you're a lot leaner than that. Hey, what's life going to be like for the Seattle Seahawks if they have to live without Russell Wilson, Tori?
Yeah, that's what happened when you let Russ cook too long, So, the offensive line struggled to protect them, and Aaron Donald and the Rams were getting pressure all night. And, Geno, that first drive looked great, but then he came right back down to earth. That's Geno Smith in a nutshell, and that's why those guys are backups, and that's why Russ is arguably one of the highest paid quarterbacks and best quarterbacks in the league because, it's a huge drop-off. So we will see how the Seahawks can bounce back from it, but I don't think it's going to be pretty.
Yeah, and with the Rams, who beat Seattle last night 26-17, 4-1 now, Matthew Stafford seems to be the only difference there. I'll put it to you what I put to Moose earlier, was Jared Goff a perceived problem? Seems like Stafford's the only thing that's changed, and they're one of the most dominant teams in the NFL.
Yeah, because he's a gunslinger at heart. He likes to push the ball vertically downfield, big plays. And whenever you have Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and Deshaun Jackson out there, guys that can really fly and get downfield, it puts you in position to be extremely explosive on offense. And that's what Sean McVay wants. So, we'll see what those guys can do moving forward. But, yes, that is a huge upgrade to go from Goff to Matthew Stafford.
Interesting. Listen, I got to go way off the board with this one. I've been down here in South Florida for almost all fall, and I'm hearing it every day. What's wrong with the Dolphins? What's wrong with the Dolphins? The analysts on the radio can't figure it out. And they're just playing terrible football. Management's hanging it on Tua not being available. I'm saying he got sacked 3 times in the first quarter against the Bills. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. But how would you answer what's wrong with the Miami Dolphins? Because it seems like they just can't seem to figure it out.
Yeah, I think it starts at quarterback play. You got to have, in this league, the haves and have-nots are the guys that, are the premier quarterbacks in the NFL. That's how you win these games, unless if you're just going to lean on a run game and playing defense. But everyone else, whenever you have that star quarterback, whenever in doubt, they can make things right for you. And, obviously, a lot of talk has been about Deshaun Watson and Tua and Miami searching for quarterbacks. So we'll see how that thing plays out because, that his name has been thrown around a lot down there in Miami.
Absolutely. And it's Dolphins at Buccaneers here. Not here, but just up the road on Sunday. Dolphins at Buccaneers. Buccaneers coming after that 19-17 win at New England last week in prime time. I haven't talked to you since. How did you feel about how that game went down?
Honestly, I thought it was going to be a blowout. I was expecting Tom Brady to try to hang up 50. So it just shows that the Buccaneers they're struggling right now. Rob Gronkowski is out. Everybody on defense is hurt. Literally, they're signing Richard Sherman, and they try to get Stephon Gillmore, and the secondary is just banged up, and they're not getting the pressure up front that they did last year. So it's a long season. And I just think they have to get those, tighten some things up, and they'll be fine. But, the Bucs they're going to lose a few games coming down the stretch. And it wouldn't shock me if Miami, had them in a dogfight and end up getting a win. It's football. Teams don't go 19-0. That's hard to do. So I just think it's probably about time for them to drop a game, and that Dolphins game might be a good bounce back spot for them.
Pick up what he's putting down, folks. Buccaneers are favored by 10. Sounds like Tori thinks the Dolphins will at least beat the spread. By the way, primetime games, Sunday night, Buffalo at Kansas City, Monday, Indianapolis at Baltimore. Let's talk about the Bills for a second. That is a delicious matchup on Sunday Night Football. Bills at Chiefs. What do you see going down?
This is a huge game for Josh Allen. I think everyone else on the Bills is fine, but we're all going to be watching him because in these primetime spots, he has yet to show up. He's beat up on everybody else at 1 o'clock. Those 1 o'clock games are the games where nobody's watching. They're blacked out in certain areas. But when you talk about playing Sunday Night Football at 8 o'clock and the world is watching, we want to see a great performance, and we want to see, why Buffalo went out and spent so much money on him as a quarterback. So it's going to be a huge test for him. Obviously, you got Patrick Mahomes on the other side, but the Chiefs, they are potent on offense, but on defense, they can't stop a nosebleed. So this could be a game where, we see a lot of points scored. And, like I said, it wouldn't shock me if Buffalo won the game because the Chiefs are just playing that bad right now.
From my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat, Alberta, watching. She says, the RP show has the best-looking guests. I agree. It is not an accident. Not an accident, Chris. It's by design. We only put good-looking people on this show. And, Tori, by the way, I'm in South Florida listening to sports radio, obviously college football crazy on sports radio. And they're saying, Alabama, that it's not fair. Every game that Alabama goes up against somebody, it's not fair because they just win recruiting hands down. What do you think about that statement? Just that they have the pick of the litter of the best high school recruits, and you're in that business. I mean, is it not fair? Like, should Alabama be the 33rd NFL team? Like, I just couldn't believe it when I heard that.
No, I don't believe in that stuff. I was fortunate enough in college to beat Alabama when they had all that talent. We were the last team in the SEC East to beat Alabama. It was University of South Carolina back in 2010. They can be beat. It takes a great game plan, and regardless of those recruits, Nick Saban does a great job of getting guys to buy in. I've seen programs where they bring in all this talent, but you have egos and you have everything, all these other variables that go into it, and guys can't work together collectively, and they have a bad, a piss poor effort. But with Nick Saban, he's a great coach. He fires guys up, get them to play at a high level, and you just have to meet that intensity when you play them. But they can be beat, but it takes playing a perfect game, offense, defense, and special teams. You can't, when you play against those guys, there's the room for error is small.
Interesting. I felt like calling in. Maybe I will call in today and say, Tori Gurley from South Carolina says the Crimson Tide is beatable. I'll tell you what they say, Tori. Hey, listen, as usual, we're far too soon out of time. Thanks for this. My best to the family, my man. You're going to be a dad before long. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving, and we'll chat with you
Absolutely.
soon.
Any day now, and like I said, I love that orange shirt, man. You look better than Dan Marino in orange.
How about that?
I like it, man. I like the area. It's fitting. Thank you, Tori.
You guys take care.
All right, Tori Gurley joining us here in South Florida. We'll be right back with Overtime as the Moose comes right back. I was with Dan Marino last week. I'll tell you that story again if you want. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grade. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grade Systems a call today.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, We are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
One last time, we are in overtime, brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Your home for the UFC and the Seattle Kraken fan club. Good look at Robbie's there in the Florida Keys. And we're bringing the Moose back in here for overtime. And I'm just going to read some messages from the viewers because we call it viewer takeover, Darren. Swanee writes in from the 471 on the Prairie Mobile text line. He says, from what I'm hearing on today's show is that good quarterbacks who put up great numbers and can't win are terrible because they lose. Maybe it's the defense that can't support the offense. After all, it is a two-way game. That's from Swanee. From DG in Saskatoon says, morning, guys. Speaking of spending money to look better, how much worth of pink drink did you sell to North Korea Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un, Roddy? Guy's apparently down 50 pounds since the summer. Looks like a stud now. I haven't seen any photos whatsoever of Kim Jong-un, but if he's down 50 pounds, good on him.
Sounds like a meme. It's a meme. To the before and after. Must be on the pink drink. I can see it now.
It works, man. I'm telling you, living proof right here. Where are we on the quarterback discussion? I mean, you are not, because of what I said about Tony Romo, now he's going nuts. And yeah, there are good quarterbacks on bad teams. Look at Dan Marino, for the love of Pete. And by the way, just being in his presence, that guy has an aura about him. I'll tell you what Dan Marino does. But he's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, people can see who's good or who's not good. It's not all about wins per se, right? We can see who's good or not. Bad quarterbacks won't make good teams win. Not sure how many good quarterbacks can make bad teams win. You know what I'm saying?
But they're better at it, right? They got a better shot, and we don't watch the Vikings as close as our friends do, right? We have a lot of Vikings fans that are friends, close friends. They'll tell you that Kirk Cousins is a reason why they lose some of those close games. Mistakes late, not making the big play. And there's a difference between the greats. When Peyton Manning had the ball in his hand, and I mean, I've seen a ton of Peyton Manning, played in the same division as the Titans, right? And we've seen a ton of Tom Brady. Tom Brady gets the ball in his hands with a minute to go, down by 4, you've lost, right? Because he's going to go down the field and score. Or if he just needs a field goal, it's over. But with Kirk Cousins, you don't have that same confidence. At least the Viking fans don't. With the quarterbacks, you don't have that.
We watched them this year in Cincy, right? In overtime, you just never got the sense that Kirk Cousins was going to do what it took to win the game for the Minnesota Vikings. The fans can see it.
Yeah. Now, granted, there are very few that have that all the time. Brady, Manning, Aaron Rodgers, right? It's that elite group that have that confidence where you just know if they get the ball back in their hands, they're going to come down the field and at least put them in field goal range.
Let's do the MySask 411 Business of the Week, why don't we? Because it is Friday. It's the final segment. The MySask 411 Business of the Week is Evan Niekamp Restaurant Pietro in Waskesiu, Sask. To get the best kind of homemade Italian pasta, different types of steaks and specials, come on down to Evan Niekamp Restaurant Pietro in Waskesiu, Saskatchewan. Find them on MySask 411 today. Now I want to go to Waskesiu. It's been far too long since I've been at Evan Niekamp Restaurant in Waskesiu, Darren. I'm sure you've been there. You're a Northern Sask Lake guy. You can find them on the MySask 411 app. I got it right here. It's on my main page. It's in my favorites. The MySask 411 app is a phone book in your hand, and every Friday we profile the business of the week for them. Makes you want to go to Waskesiu too, I'm sure.
Does it ever?
By the way, Clark letting me know to tell you people, guests for this upcoming week, Vincent Trocheck of the Carolina Hurricanes. I can't wait to talk to him. I want to know his thoughts on where they're ranked going into the season. We'll talk about opening week in the NHL. Vincent Trocheck of the Carolina Hurricanes. Mo Egger of ESPN 1530 Cincinnati will be joining us to talk on the Bengals. And 16-year NFL quarterback J.T. O'Sullivan, close friend of ours, and former Saskatchewan Rough Rider quarterback will be with us. Moose, I'll see you Sunday, huh?
Yeah, and we didn't do the bets, the Bet Regal picks. I totally forgot.
I said to bring it up earlier.
But we did make them. We'll put them at rodpeterson.com. So there's your tease, rodpeterson.com for the picks.
And follow our social media feeds as well. I'll see you in the broadcast booth Sunday at 4, Regina Pats and the Brandon Wheat Kings on Access Now Television. You want me to bring the turkey, or are you bringing the turkey?
You bring it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
You betcha. We'll see you Tuesday here on Game Plus TV.
I never told you to shut up. Well, a couple times.
Yeah.